Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to another CryptoManiacs podcast. Friday, September the 23rd, 2022. Dude, this is like episode 153 or something. Can you believe it? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, I mean, we are very consistent, and we did have a couple weeks there. I think we added an extra show in, but yeah, I mean, it just shows you the consistency. We're September, so we're at a year and a half. Give or take, probably a little bit on the other side of a year and a half, working towards 2 years now. So they add up. You show up each week. This is part of our main central thesis when it comes to Hive. Show up every day and be consistent. And twice a week we show up here, and we've had to adjust times, we've had to bounce around, change shows, add shows, but we get them in. And I think that shows the commitment, and that's what it takes.
Yeah, for sure. And just give you guys hopefully it doesn't pick it up, but I got some renovations going on to the side of me. So I'll do my best to mute my mic while I'm not talking so you guys don't hear anything in the background. But we do have a lot of questions, man. So these are Friday sessions. Everyone's questions, we address them. Hopefully we'll tackle them all because there was a bunch this week. So Task, you ready to rock?
Let's go.
There we go. Everything is a business. Sorry, I was trying to get the screen up so we could see it. Yeah, that's better there. So everything is a business. That's a post that you kind of gave me an idea for. So I'm gonna try to get that post in next week. I'm trying to mute myself while the guy's got the drill going. So can you hear that or no?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Perfect. Here we go. First one's up is by Tidy and Rain. I apologize if I destroy that, but this is a pretty big one here. So Hive is definitely a business to me, and I love all the ways to create income here and often passive income at that. I'm here every day learning, growing, and building. My growth here took a big hit with my breakup at the end of July and all the huge and very challenging shifts around it. One area that comes to mind around which I'd like to learn more about is diesel and liquidity pools. I haven't fully wrapped my head around how they function, but I'd like to know how to get myself in on some of them. What are some of the best ones, and is there anything that could be recommended, suggested with getting started to them? I'm most interested. The most interesting tokens for me are the income tokens, the dividend paying and mining tokens. I've been working to acquire many of these on my list as I'm able, focusing on a handful at a time. I'm always interested in learning more about the ones I know and discovering new ones that I don't know yet. What are some of the more interesting income tokens that you know of and could recommend? So this is a great question, and it fits right up our alley.
Well, one thing I will say that first pops into my head is, holy shit, this person's going in too many directions. And it's okay from an understanding standpoint, but if you're doing it from a financial standpoint, damn, it gets confusing.
Right, yeah.
To take the second part first, we covered this a lot on Tuesday with Blaine. Obviously, you want to talk index token. That's a wonderful token that's put together by CTP. I think EDS, Eddie, is a terrific token. It's paying over 30% right now. Pays out in Hive. That is a wonderful one. SPI, LBI are other ones that are very good at paying out income each and every week. So that's not a bad starting point. And depending on your resources, you might even need to cut that down. And if you did, I would suggest index and maybe EDS if you want to go with the two tokens that you're going to add. EDS, you can actually get a miner for, which then will net you out the Eddy tokens, the EDS tokens. Now, going to the liquidity pool and the diesel pool, what are they? A liquidity pool is a swapping pool. Just like when you go onto an exchange and you swap Bitcoin for Hive or Hive for Ethereum or Ethereum for Bitcoin, you're swapping one token for the other, but the exchange is actually operating as the intermediary. Liquidity pools remove the intermediary. So if you go into an Ethereum Bitcoin liquidity pool, just using that as an example, you put up 50% Bitcoin, 50% Ethereum, you put it in the pool, then that allows people to sell their Ethereum for their Bitcoin or sell their Bitcoin for Ethereum. Now, naturally, these are wrapped versions depending on what blockchain they're on, whether it's Polygon or Ethereum or BSC or whatever. But the point is the same. And the diesel pools work the same way. You'll have a diesel pool which will have two different tokens in it. Maybe it's SPS and Swap Hive. Maybe it's SPS and Swap HBD, whatever the two tokens are. And it allows people to go and trade those tokens or buy the tokens or sell the tokens as they see fit. And it does it without an intermediary. So this is all part of the DeFi realm. Now, going back to the tie-in with the income tokens, it comes down to resources and where are you going to go and all this other stuff, and trying to get a return out of 15,000 different things gets to be overwhelming. I always say concentrate on a couple, 3, 4 things to start, build some stake. And then if you have enough stake in one, let's say index, you build yourself to a point where you're comfortable with your amount of index. Okay, you set that aside and then you use your resources, maybe add in SPI or LBI or something like that, and you start buying them because your index reached the level that you're comfortable with. But this goes back. I watched people during the ICO craze. Oh, I got 50 tokens I'm invested in. You're an idiot. You can't keep track of all of them. So you get yourself two income tokens maybe that you're splitting your resources among. You start concentrating on your high power, maybe your CTP, maybe your Leo, whatever it is, and that's a full-time job with just those 5 there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, for me, income tokens, I'm obviously, co-owner of Index, so I'm bullish on Index. But another one that I really like is Bro. I think Raymond and the Bro Fund do an amazing job. So that's another one I use. As for the liquidity pools, for me, it's what's great is what you were saying, Task. I can actually fund my liquidity pools from my efforts on Splinterlands. So I'm basically getting the 2 pools I'm in is SPS Swap Hive and Voucher Swap Hive. So because of my stake and the assets I own in Splinterlands, I'm generating SPS each and every day. I take that and I roll it into some liquidity pools. So the liquidity pools I'm in when it comes to the diesel pools on Tribal Dex is the Swap Hive SPS and Swap Hive Voucher. So it's all in-house. So that's what's cool about that. So great questions, though. Really, really good questions. And what's really cool is that the community really came up. DKid14 suggested Index and EDS, and Just Click and Diva put her post up where she goes over about liquidity pools, and had a really good conversation with Tide and Rain. I'm destroying that name. So, anyways, thank you for the question. My path to fire. Yes, it is a side hustle and a business. Is there any update on Ragnarok? This looks like an exciting project. Is MetaMask safe? Can it get hacked? Is it centralized? Well, MetaMask can definitely get hacked. That's legendary people putting in their keys somewhere and getting it hacked. Is it safe? It's as safe as your ability to keep it safe. Let's put it that way. Don't go clicking too many crazy links that guarantee you airdrops. So that's the big thing. Just you use common sense and you should be okay. But as for Ragnarok, man, do you have any updates on that? Do you know?
No, I last I heard it was Dan's targeting having something out the end of this year to have an alpha version, I guess you would say, early beta version maybe. I mean, either way, it's looking to get something out to get some testing going. Had some challenges in that one of the artists, I think, died, literally. So they had to find a new artist, and that delayed some things. And it's like anything else. It's a project they're developing, and they got art being developed. They have coding being done, and it's moving pieces. So my understanding is something out the end of the year, and then around mid-year next year it goes full beta testing, and it'll be about a year of that before the game truly is, then live. But in the beta testing, you will be able to get rewarded and all that other stuff. So it's not like it's just testnet and funny money. It'll be the real deal. But they'll use that time to work out some of the bugs and then add different aspects of the game, I presume.
There you go. Thank you for the question, my Path of Fire. Taskmaster 4450LE wants to know, when will Blaine without the E, Jones, come back on the CryptoManiacs show? We will have to schedule him in. Blaine's a very busy man these days because, we're cracking the whip with him, getting him to work. So,
Yeah, he seems like one who does well taking orders.
Yes. Oh, totally. Yes, absolutely. But we will get him back on as soon as we can. Thank you for the question, Taskmaster 4450LE. Appreciate it. Success Char. This is Charletta. She's up. When I came to Hive, I came as a way to build a business as she was into affiliate marketing. But after being here, it seems I still cannot build a business, at least not the affiliate marketing way. And I believe that this is where I'm stuck. So my question is to determine So my question is, what determines if what you're doing on Hive classifies as a business? On another note, where do I find the history on the SBI token that you received, bought, and earned or given? So I'll answer the first one. SBI is called Steam Basic Income. Hive backed or something like that. They call it now because of the switchover. But you can find their Telegram. They have posts. They're not their Telegram, their Discord. Their Discord group is where you can get all of the information. They have little bots that you can, and there's little codes. Like I know it's all in their Discord. Little calls that you can make on the Hive blockchain that'll spit out stuff if you want to know how much you've got, how much you're getting, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where you would get information on that. The first part of the question, though, what determines what you classifies as a business? You asking a question is a business.
Your mindset.
Your mindset. Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that Tass talked about a couple weeks ago, which is where we started the show, where everything you do is a business. Every single thing you do on Hive can be considered. Treat it as a business. When you put like Tass said, the mindset, when you switch it like, okay, I know that I need to set a schedule to show up every day, create content. That's a business. I need to set a date every single time of the day. I got to go and make comments and engage with people. I'm treating it as a business. I want to get into Splinterlands and get into the investing side of it, the collector side of it. That's a business. I want to get into 3Speak. I want to start uploading videos and creating content there. That's a business. I want to take pictures of my cat and upload it to Like2. That's a business. So it's the mindset. Perfect word. That Task brought there. It's the mindset. Every single thing you do here, when you treat it like a business, it becomes a business, which is very powerful.
Well, it's just like compare the two Facebook users. You got one Facebook user is on there engaging friends, playing Farmville and doing all kinds of bullshit. Then you have somebody else who's using Facebook actually to sell their product or service. So what do you think the approach is when each of those people logs on to Facebook? The one who's using it as to sell a product or service is very serious, very disciplined, very consistent, very targeted. Exactly. Isn't sitting there getting distracted by, oh, there's a new game or this other stuff, or, oh, there's some drama between Sally and Betty. That's not why they're there. And this is the difference. You take it a lot more serious, and then you really start to take the ownership mindset of the ecosystem. Because now your business is part of this. The success of your business is due in part to the success of the ecosystem, success of the platform, success of the application, success of the game, success of whatever. So John, obviously, he lovingly and accurately calls himself a Splinterlands degenerate. John has tremendous investment, not only in the success of his activity, his holdings, his tokens, his whatever in Splinterlands. He has tremendous interest in the success of Splinterlands overall and making it as successful as possible, because that helps his, we'll use the term, Splinterlands business, because he has holdings, he has financial stake. This stuff is monetized. When it's monetized, It no longer is a fucking hobby. It's no longer social. It is a business. Now, if you treat your business like a hobby, if you treat your business like social, well, that's where we know things can go downhill and are tend to be a failure. So, it's like the drinker who says, well, I'll open up a bar because I like hanging out with my buddies in a bar and I might as well have a bar. Well, they end up going out of business because they drink up all the profits. You end up treating your activity on Hive like a business. You want Hive to succeed. You want CTP. You want Leo Finance. You want whatever you're involved with 3Speak to succeed because that's going to help you. And so then you're willing to do your part.
Yep, and just like you said, like all these vested tokens, the tokens I have a vested interest in, I want them to succeed. Like I want Bro to do really good. I want Leo to do really good. I want SPT and Splinterlands to do really good. I want CTP, fancy enough, to do really good. So I'm treating each of them like businesses. And what's cool about Hive is that you can wrap it all together, and it's just the mindset.
So one big business.
For one big business. Yeah, it's a
John G. Olson Incorporated or LLC.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And to touch on what Charlotta just said here quickly, where she talked about the affiliate marketing stuff. One of the things that they talk about in affiliate marketing that a lot of affiliate marketers don't do is content create to attract engagement. They're trying to pitch things in their content marketing. What you can do here on Hive is you can talk about your journey. You can share things that work for you without needing to pitch. And that's a big part of affiliate marketing. So your content marketing strategy you can do right here on Hive.
Well, completely. And plus you get rewarded for taking that action to create the content. I mean, like we talked when we had Jimmy on air, and we've done a number of times. We have a plate of marketing tools showing up to Hive, which actually rewards you for doing the damn marketing. So at the end of the day, it may get to the point, who gives a crap if you sell anything or you get anybody to sign up? Because if you're getting enough listener tokens, if you're getting enough CTP, if you're getting enough Hive, if you get enough Leo, if you're getting enough of whatever, what's the difference? You're getting rewarded.
Yeah, it's what we talked about with listeners. The reward is being active.
Same thing with the upcoming from Tuesday, the super secret, not so secret app.
Yes,
that's going to be a content discovery app that you get rewarded for utilizing.
Yep, and the results you get from it is a bonus. So there you go. Speaking of Jimmy's got a question, and I know what Jimmy's new addiction is. So this is right up your alley. With Cal and the Threads team making positive changes to the platform so quickly, I'm most looking forward to the rethreading. I think that's what it's called. What else are you looking forward to with Threads? Well, they changed it where you can put your 3Speak videos up now this week. That was really cool. So that's what I would really love to see with Threads. Obviously, the mobile app. I think once the mobile app is there, it's lights out. It's game over. But the ability to upload super short videos. Now, I know the quality content brigade on Hive will be out in full force saying, what's quality? This isn't quality. It's just a 2-minute video of a cat. Cool story, bro. I want to see 2-minute videos of cats on Hive, and specifically on something like Threads, because that's where you're going to get adoption. That's where you're going to get more massive use case. That's where you're going to get. I want to see TikTok. I don't want to see TikTok videos of Cal dancing. I want to see Thread videos of Cal dancing. I don't know about you, Tass, but Cal's a pretty good dancer, right?
Well, I maybe I misunderstood. What it is you can embed 3Speak videos into Threads. So what you have to do is you have to go to 3speak.tv, grab your video from there, copy the 3Speak URL, drop it into Threads with whatever few words you want to say. And once you enter it, then the thread shows up with the little play arrow right in the middle of the picture, and it plays right in it. So that is a big one, because actually you can't even do that with YouTube. YouTube videos don't show up yet. They have something quirky with it right now that has to be resolved. But yes, that is a big thing, where in your Threads, if you upload a video, and everybody who uploads a video to 3Speak, you should go to 3speak.tv, grab your video's URL, go to Threads, leofinance.io /Threads, drop it in there, because it could get you more exposures. People are going through the threads and could see something that they normally wouldn't see. Number one. Number two, it gets a backlink to your video, and more backlinks going to your stuff, going to Three Speak help. That's called an external link because Leo Finance is a completely different URL. It's a completely different site. So getting those backlinks will help Three Speak, which of course, if you're uploading content, should help you in the long run. In terms of what else is there, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean by mobile, John. Do you mean add in threads to Leo Finance mobile app, which they haven't done yet? That'll help. But certainly Project Blank is really the creme de la creme. And when that gets its own standalone application, when it's Project Blank, download the Project Blank app or whatever the hell the name is, then you're talking something big time. This is still the beta test for that. They're adding in the infrastructure as we can see more features, and that's wonderful. And Cal actually sent out a thread this week asking people to answer what else they would like to see. I did not go through the thread, so I don't know what other people are suggesting, but there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming up. I mean, they're committed to making that go, and so I don't know. Rethreads is a big thing. I think that is something probably in the works, or whatever the hell they want to call it. I think there's going to be a lot of things. I think also maybe, but then again, maybe this isn't necessary, but having your follow feed, that showing up where if John sends out a thread because I'm following John, I see it. But then again, that may not be the best approach because John may thread out stuff. I like John's long form posts because he writes about topics I enjoy, but then John's threading out, pictures of his kids, which I don't really care to see, or he's sending out pictures of his dinner, or he's discussing, his religion or something like that. And no, that's been banned. All those that I got through. That's part of the ban list. You use that tag, and it's like banned forever. No, I mean, if all of a sudden somebody who you're following starts talking about English Premier League soccer, you may not know what the hell they're talking about if you don't follow it. So these are certain things. Filtering system is important for threads, but also the other thing that I'd like to see is other front ends pick up on it. I mean, CTP Talk pick up on it, Three Speak pick up on it. Other front ends start to tap into the container so this stuff can show up on those front ends and people can actually engage from CTP Talk with threads. I mean, it's not exclusive to Leo Finance. They're doing the development, but anybody can add it.
There you go. Thank you for the question, Jimmy. Tokenized Society's got a question, and it's funny. We're the next couple of questions here are Splinterlands related, I'm sure, but there was someone did this video, Crypto Stash, one of the really good content creators out there. He actually uses the cryptocurrency platforms that he talks about. And he was interviewing this guy that did a ranking of all the play to earn games and the blockchain based games. He put, he gave a letter grade to everything. He put Splinterlands at D. So it was the Splinterlands community just went ballistic on Twitter this past week. But this is a good question because this is what I'm going to tokenize wants to know. Do you think there will ever be a super high quality play to earn game, or is the inherent inefficiency of blockchain an obstacle to that? So this guy who did this video, all of the games that he had at the A's and the B's were these super high intensive graphics, like things you'd find on your computer or you're playing on an Xbox, like quality. Of course, none of it was on blockchain. It was all like theory. It wasn't, because what Tokenize says here, there's obstacles because most of these things are building on dumbass Ethereum. So, you can't really use it like, and there's speed issues, et cetera, et cetera. I still think play to earn games are super young. I think it's going to take another 5 years, I think, before we really see these things exploding like blockchain based gaming. But what you do see now is something amazing like Splinterlands. Splinterlands, play to earn, GameFi, whatever you want to call it. I don't care about the brand. To me, it's a really cool card game where it's on a blockchain that I love, and I can trade, I can buy, I can sell, I can do a whole bunch of things with it. The inefficiency of the blockchains does not relate to a game like Splinterlands because it's on Hive. Hive is basically made for something like Splinterlands. Splinterlands, to me, is very super high quality. The ecosystem's amazing. The tokenization is amazing. The tokenomics is amazing. Everything works. The community is amazing. Heck, we're 30 minutes away from the latest airdrop. People are losing their mind right now. They sold out 3 pre-sales in the past 2 weeks. 3 different projects they sold out. And this is in a bear market. So
in like 2 minutes. I mean, it wasn't even like
two of them were 1.5 minute and a half, and then one was under a minute, and then the other one was 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, so tokenized, to answer your question, I kind of went on off a tangent there. I think we're still really new to the blockchain-based play-to-earn games. I think that the problem is that most of these things are hot air. Most of them are just like, let's get someone to develop something that looks really cool graphic-wise. Don't worry about the tokenomics of it. Don't worry about the blockchain it's on. We'll put it on Ethereum, some EVM, and we'll call it a day. And we'll get a bunch of people to put money into it, a pre-sale, and we'll sell packs, and we're going to have a game. I think we're really young. It's the ICO for play to earn right now. That's the phase we're at right now, in my opinion. So, there you go. That was my rant. Task, you like my rant?
That was a good one.
Not bad?
Not bad.
The next question is Splinterlands specific, as if that wasn't Splinterlands specific for me. iJat wants to know, what do you think about card from Splinterlands, the Rooney? And at what price would you sell the $500 card if you got one? So, like we just mentioned, three pre-sales sold out from Splinterlands. This was the latest one yesterday. This sold out in about a minute. They put up 2,000 whitelist spots to get these new. It's basically the board 8 of Splinterlands. That's basically what it is. But you can use this. You can actually take this card and play it in the game, but it's going to be on Ethereum. So it needs to be on OpenSea, and you've got to stake it on OpenSea to be able to play it in the game, blah, 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 blah. You know how much I love Ethereum. So, of course, I went and secured a whitelist spot yesterday because I'm like you said, Splinterlands degenerate. So I paid my voucher. So now I got to come up with $250 worth of Ethereum in the next month to buy this thing, to mint it. But I got my whitelist spot, so I have a Rooney. What would I sell the Rooney for? Tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not the kind of person that wants to flip it for profits. I'm going to spend about 100 voucher, which is about $50, and then $250 in Ethereum plus gas fees. So you're looking at, let's say $350, give or take. I'm gonna pay for this. If someone says, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 for it," I would not sell it. If someone said, "I'll give you $2,000 for it," I wouldn't sell it, even though I'm tripling my money because of the fact that there's 6,500 of these in existence. That's it. I'm very bullish on the long term of Splinterlands. This is a great way for Splinterlands to be promoted inside of the Ethereum and OpenSea community. But for me, I'm not willing to sell it. Not unless someone gives me 20 grand for it. Sure, then heck, let's do it. But I wouldn't sell it for double, triple, quadruple the money just because I am very bullish on Splinterlands, and I think Rooney is a pretty cool project, even though it's on Ethereum and I hate it with a passion. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Did you get a Rooney task? No.
I think I just missed. I was 651 or 6,501.
Aggro couldn't even get one yesterday. He was on the town hall and he couldn't even refresh his browser in time. That's how quick they sold out. So when the CEO and founder of the company can't get one.
Oh, that's good that he's putting it out there and that he's in the pool with everybody else and equal chance. So,
yep.
That's good.
Yep, for sure. Thank you for the question, iJet. And so D Kid, he's up. He said, "I'm trying to bring a business to Hive. I originally wanted to do it with a sports cards, but then I noticed there was a project doing exactly what I wanted to do on Solana. So I'm shifting and thinking of trying to find the time. So cool to see what others are building. Dude, I don't see why you can't do it on Hive. Screw Solana. Who cares? Who cares? Like, I don't think we need to worry about what other blockchains are doing. We just build it on Hive and make it better. That's my opinion. But again, I'm very biased.
Well, but how do you do it on Hive if you're dealing with NFTs? We don't have that capability of smart contracts yet. I mean,
well, would you do it on second layers?
yeah. I mean, I guess can you build NFTs on Hive Engine?
You can do it on Deluxe, pretty sure.
Yeah, you can do it
Yeah.
on Deluxe. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't think of that. So yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's don't shy away from the competition. I mean, know what's out there, and like John said, do it better. I mean, this is business 101. If nobody else is doing it, either you are a genius and you've seen something the whole rest of the world doesn't see, which there's probably a very slim odds of that. So then the odds are the alternative is it's probably not a very profitable market. So the fact that there's other people doing it is a good sign that there may be some great potential, and just roll up your sleeves and do it better than they do. Take their best ideas and build on them.
Yeah, and I'd touch base too, D Kid, with someone like Reseller, blockchain
go.
cards. You had he's that's right up his alley. You might want to touch base with him.
You
'Cause
might form some type of partnership agreement with him.
Yep.
For his knowledge, you give him a certain piece of the pie, and then he'll help you with the distribution. I mean, that could be a match made in heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ad creator design is up. This is Barb. I've known Barb for over a decade, and it's good to see her come out. And she's got a question. She got a question about what to blog about. So she's like, hi, John. I guess I feel stuck on what to blog about on CTP Talk. I know you suggested blogging about birds, but my bird died a year ago. She's a very big bird fan. Just context here. It is suggested by Hive to only put pictures that I have taken in their posts. I don't have a good enough camera to capture wild bird photos. I feel I should not write a post without my photographs. I would love to write about Dr. Irene Pepperberg, but the photos would be from the posts about her. I feel stumped and not able to write freely. I hope this question is okay. In other words, I don't want to get a bad grade from Hive.
Well, I don't know where that comes from. You can use photos from other articles. Just cite the article. I mean, link the article in there. Say, here's the credit or here's the source. I mean, look at my post. Those are not my photos, and under each photo I will center it and source it, and the link is sourced or the word source is linked to the actual photo wherever it's resident. And and if I use a series from an article, I'll put at the end photos from article linked, and the article will be linked somewhere in my post. So if you want to go see where that photo came from, it's right there. Same thing with quotation. If you copy a paragraph or copy a couple sentences out of another article, and you use the right arrow, which is right above your period sign on your keyboard, and you get that, be sure to source it and link to where you got the quote from.
Yep. And as for content, there's actually a pretty sizable bird community on Hive. You could tap right into it. I've known Barb for over a decade now plus, and I know her passion for birds. That's what Hive is built for you to tap into a passion. So write about Dr. Irene, write about your experience with birds, write about caring for birds, write about your favorite bird, do whatever you want on Hive. Don't ever think that, you're going to get a bad grade. I mean, it's like,
and in the comment section, John will embed his 2-minute cat video.
Yes, I'll have the cat video inside of it. Yeah, dinner. Yeah. Listen, I'm a bird fan. Okay, I got a bird now. He's right here. He's very quiet.
You got a bird that if it was quail season, you might be apt to shoot it. The way
Dude,
that
I like birds, man. Birds are up there with me with dogs. Like dogs are like my all-time pet. Birds are pretty close. Like birds are pretty awesome. Anyways. Thank you for the question, Bob. I hope that
I
helped.
like birds in Thanksgiving in the
I knew
United
he
States.
has to go there, right? He had to go there. You know, I had some really good jerk chicken last night. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I just like really good
No, no,
barbecue.
but you remember that show WKRP in Cincinnati?
I do.
And remember the turkey one episode
Oh,
where
dude, I can't remember it, but
Les ran a promo, a Thanksgiving promo, and the plane's flying overhead with a banner, and then they open up the door and threw the turkeys out. And of course, turkeys don't fly.
right. Yes. Right.
And Johnny Fever sitting there saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know. Oh my God, the carnage!" And
Cruelty to
I think
animals.
it was actually Mr. Big Guy, whatever the main guy was, Dana Carlson, his character. It was Mr. Carlson. He goes, "I didn't know they couldn't fly." Oh well, flashbacks to my youth. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No worries. NFT BBG says, what do you think would happen about the recent legal cases filed against crypto companies, either the plaintiff wins or otherwise? Dude, there's always going to be people trying to sue someone.
Especially in the United States.
Yeah. You stubbed your toe walking into a McDonald's. Let's sue McDonald's. I mean, I remember, wasn't that like something they did? They sued someone for drinking they spilt hot coffee and they sued McDonald's.
Somebody won $5 million from McDonald's because she spilled hot coffee on her crotch, and she said it was too hot and burned her. And,
too hot for the hot tub. Wow.
Yeah, so and she won. I mean, it's like scalding coffee.
But what do we think about people, the recent legal cases? I think there's going to be legal cases forever. Even banks, and banks have been around for hundreds of years. They still go through legal cases. So there's always going to be someone trying to sue someone or trying to get over that. What you do is just put on your hat and enjoy the ride. That's the advice. Enjoy the freak show, because this is what it seems like it is these days. But if there's anything specific, any specific cases, let us know, NFT, and we'll touch on it next week. I am Farhad is up. Really good member of the CTB community. He wants to know, what do you think about Ethereum move to proof of work to proof of stake? Is it a good thing? Now that it's completely moved, there are concerns of getting more centralized. What are your views on that? Well, Ethereum is about as centralized as it gets, period. Like, let's be brutally honest. But proof of work to proof of stake. Obviously, we're proof of stake fans. I mean, we've been here at DPOS for 5 years now, me and Task, so we're fans of this model, but this algorithm. But Ethereum is, I don't know. I mean, it's as centralized as it gets. So.
Yeah, I mean, they called me. Dan's talked about this for 3 years, and he's been spot on. And it's the block production is now. I mean, I read a headline: 64% of all staked Ethereum is in 5 wallets.
Right, it's all the exchanges own it.
Yeah, and so you start looking at that, and you start looking at just they either go to CTT and listen to the CTT talk, or go to They Call Me Dan and go through some of his videos. And I'm sure over the next couple of weeks, you'll see a lot more videos out of him attacking Ethereum. He's been all over this for 3 years, and he talks about coin voting, centralization of it, why POS doesn't work as compared to DPoS, all of that.
Yeah. He did a really good video this week too. Check out the video he did this week. I think that was because we were guilt tripping him last week about, where's all your shows, Dan? We want to see your videos, Dan. So it was a really good one. Anyways, thank you for the question, Farhad. I hope that helps. Yeah, it's definitely more centralized now, and all the exchanges seem to own the biggest stake. So David Armstrong's up. Being in business, you should make a profit. Otherwise, it would just be considered a hobby. Growing your business takes time and investment. Here on the Hive platform, there are so many items to focus your time and effort that you can start spreading yourselves too thin, kind of what Tass just mentioned. What would be a target ROI for a business that you run on the Hive platform to be considered successful?
Well, that's hard because
Yeah.
the ROI not only involves the financial aspect, it involves the time aspect, and a lot of we're not necessarily being paid in a stable currency. So you get paid in let's say Canadian dollars, John, in your business, you're getting paid in Canadian dollars. They're not going to fluctuate too much. Same with US dollars, same with whatever. Yeah, if you get into currency trading, then it does. But when you get if you get paid $100 an hour for your consult business, you get paid $100 an hour. With Hive, you get 100 Hive, that could be $50 or it could be $500. So you
Right.
have and then you have the ability to take that and DeFi it. So if I get paid in CTP, not only can my CTP double in USD value, but also I can earn 20% by staking it. And so that gets to be very difficult to work out the math. And the earlier you are in your account, the more you can grow it percentage wise. So if you don't have a lot in your business account or in your wallet that you're using for your business, you should be looking at 4x, 5x, 6x, 7x, 10x in that. You've been around for 5 years. John and I aren't going to 10x our Hive holding. We're not going to 10x our CTP holding. We're not going to 10x our Leo holding. I mean, John's got a lot less Leo, so he might be able to double his Leo over the next year. I can't. But I think that's how you have to break it down, is based upon what do you see and what do you have. And John keeps buying all these Splinterland stuff. And yes, some of the fungible tokens you can sit there and say, okay, SPS I expect a 5x over the next 18 months. But what can you expect off your cards? Well, who knows? And some cards are more valuable than others. Some are rarer than others. And if the game picks up his one of 6,500 card, could be worth 10 grand. You don't know. So I mean there's so many variables, and that's where I say focus your attention on a few different areas so you're not spread too thin, and then look at growing your bags as much as you can. And I know as much as you can is a very imprecise, non-quantified metric, but unfortunately, that's all you're left with, because you might be able to triple your CTP holding, but you can only double your HBD holding, and you may only be able to add 20% to your SPS holding. I mean, it's who knows. And your income, your index token, you can only buy that, so you got to spend resources on that. And if you got a lot of resources, you can increase that, but if you don't, you can't. So those are just a lot of the variables we deal with on Hive, which is all an opportunity, though.
Yep. Good points. Good points. Speaking of pricing, here we go. We got a price question. It's for the listeners token. Tokutaru22 says, I have a question about the listeners token, and here we go. Are you going to give it another use case to raise its price? The price has been rock bottom lately.
No. The plan is to actually test listeners like the ECB and actually have it go negative, where you hold listeners, you actually have to pay the CTP.
You have to pay us to hold it. Yeah. It's funny because there's actually a ton of use cases for listeners, but no one mentions that. You can pay for all your upgrades, products and services on listeners with listeners. You can buy products and services using Hive Pay with listeners. Lots of use case for it. The price, and this kind of goes up to what you were just mentioning with David's comment. These are all market driven. Everything, every single thing. I buy a Rooney card in Splinterlands. There's 6,500 of it. The value the market might put on it is $6,500. Just using a arbitrary number. It might be $65,000
if everybody realizes this is crap.
It could be $65. It's whatever the value. So the problem with listeners is the problem. People, the market as a whole, not individuals, as a whole, said, okay, because they put a buy wall, sell wall up for 2 Hive each, That's the price we're associating with it. Right or wrong, whatever. That's the price that people associated listeners with. The market dictated that it was not worth that. So the price went down. Now what happens is the sentiment is that, oh, there's no use case and the inflation is through the roof and there's this and that. And it's just this, the market decides to keep tanking this. Now, the development is still there. Blaine is working on this full time. The inflation is cut way down. Like soup. We have totally transformed the listener still works perfectly. There's but the market, because of the snowball, it's there. Now, what's it going to take to get out of it? More promotion, more marketing on our part? Sure. More excited use cases for the token? Sure. All of these things, but it doesn't, we can do all this. The market is what determines this. We can develop everything in the world for listeners. If people think it's worth $65, it's worth $65. If people think it's worth 6 cents, it's worth 6 cents. If people think it's worth half of a quadrillionth of a penny, that's what it's worth. So this is what I can guarantee you. Eliana, Blaine, and I, the listeners team, will be here tomorrow, God willing. We're going to be here next week, God willing. Next month, we're still going to be developed. We're still going to be using it. We're still going to be promoting it. Listeners is a decade old. It's not a brand new product. The is only like 6 months old. So we will be here. We're stubborn about this stuff. Thank you for coming to my rant and my TED Talk.
My answer is sell your listeners, take your list, go use Gmail, and if your ass doesn't get banned, see what type of money you get out of Gmail. I mean, come on. It's like you have an opportunity here. You get a 90% click-through rate, which is unheard of.
97%. It's insanity. Yeah.
Whatever. And you're handed these tokens for nothing. It's not like you went out and bought them. Yeah, some people went and bought them. But most of the people who are bitching and moaning are handed the tokens based upon as rewards. And you're sitting there pissing and moaning. And it's like the project's 6 months old. And you know you have a team that's developing. It's not like they're not doing shit. There's updates. John, every time he's on camera, is talking about this shit. Every week, he's on here talking something about listeners because there's listener questions. If you don't like it, get the hell out. I mean, really, it's why do we cater to these people who just want to piss and moan because the token price is down? Well, guess what? The token price of Bitcoin's down. The price of Tesla stock's down. Oh, Elon Musk, they must not be doing anything. Is Elon Musk on vacation? You know, get a clue. If you want to be in the big time, stop acting like kids. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Is this the problem that crypto is just so attached to price? Like that's
here's the two problems, John. Yes, it's so attached to price, and you have a bunch of amateurs. And they're total amateurs. These are people who do not belong investing because they don't have the intelligence for it, the knowledge, I should say, not the intelligence. They don't have the knowledge for it, A, and B, they don't have the emotional intelligence for it. Because guess what? I see this every time there's a bear market, people lose their shit. And it's like, what are you, a fucking idiot? Do you think markets only go up? They go up and they go down. That's why there's a term, bull market, bear market. They even have a name for it. Markets go in both directions. And if you are not planned for a bear market, that means you are insane because you are not dealing with reality. Because no matter how good the bull run is, I don't care what the asset class is. And we're starting to see it in the US and I guess around the world with real estate, because there were jackasses buying real estate a year ago saying it's going to keep going up. Wrong. Now it's starting to crash. Oh, my God, I'm upside down in my house. Well, you were the asshole who bought it after a 10-year run. You know, it's like, give me a freaking break. And if you bought Bitcoin at $66,000, it sucks. You're down a lot of money. If you didn't sell on the way down, well, I can't say hold it or don't. I think ultimately it'll get back past that 66,000, but sometimes you ride it up. You sell, you take a nice profit, you get the money on the sidelines. Other times you do like John and I, you ride it up and then you ride the son of a bitch back down. And you just hope you're not dealing with something that goes right into the dirt. And in cryptocurrency, my opinion is listeners is not going into the dirt and it's not going to die because you have a project team that is dedicated to develop it and making sure it's not going to die. I can't say that about every project out there. I can't say that. I mean, I don't know 9,000 tokens that are listed on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, but I guarantee a lot of them have nothing going on. Same thing on Hive. There's a lot of Hive engine tokens that, quite frankly, there's nothing going on. These things are dead on arrival. Now, you don't see that with Bro. You don't see it with Leo. You don't see it with Larynx and the Speak team. You don't see it with Hive and HBD. You don't see it with CTP, and I'm probably missing some, and whatever's involved in Rising Star and Hash Kings and Splinterlands and some of these other games, there's development taking place, there's updates. There's other tribes that there's stuff taking place, other games that there's taking place that aren't on my radar, but then there's a lot of shit, nothing taking place. So that's what you have to look at. And if the price is unacceptable to you, then you don't belong in this game if you can't handle it. And prices are going to go down. That's just the way it is. And you know what happens? You know what smart money does when prices going down? And I'll quote Warren Buffett. All of a sudden, your stock's 30% off. That's a deal. Yeah. People buy. How the hell did I get so much Leo? You know how I got so much Leo?
When it was selling for pennies.
Yeah. When it was selling for a penny a piece, I was buying it in blocks of 4,000 or 5,000 at a clip, 40, 50 bucks at a time.
Yeah.
People were saying it's going to zero. No, because Cal was doing shit. I knew it was going to eventually turn around. So I was loading up.
Good rant, man. That was a good one. I'll give you a 10 out of 10 on that.
Well, you're right. Everybody focus on price. And I understand we all love bull markets. It gets excited, makes our toes curl. And for those of us who end up living off of this stuff, yes, it's very important. And those who are living off of it in a bear market, it's very difficult. But the bottom line is these projects, you have to have a long-term mindset. And you have to determine if they're worth holding or not. And the ones that are not worth holding, in my opinion, are the ones with nothing going on. Blaine, Eliana, John are here each and every week doing shit. To me, that's worth the risk. They may end up failing in the long run, but it's not going to be because of lack of effort. It's not going to be from a lack of trying. It's not because they give up, because they're not going to do that. And that's where you put your money. Other projects, people want to talk about the hot token, fine. Come back on here next week, right in here. What about this hot token? And before you put the question mark, though, tell us what the hell the development's going with it. And if you can't put anything there, that's something to avoid.
Use case development and community. Beating a dead horse. The Road to Freedom's got a question. Do you think it's good to diversify your crypto earnings into areas other than Hive? If so, what areas other than DeFi, which confuses me, do you suggest? I'm basically 99.9% into Hive. So I can't comment because Hive is everything I need.
I got some Bitcoin. I got some Ethereum. I got some Litecoin. I got those years ago for the most part. You could make a case. None of this financial advice, but you could make a case that people can do think about what we've discussed just in this show. Mm-hmm. You go from the range of listeners to Splinterlands. Those are huge differences in use case, in development, in progress, in target markets. If you want to diversify out, again, this diversifying for the sake of diversification is only going to make you poor. Big money's made by being concentrated. Now, should you be foolish about it and go all in on some ABC dumbass token on Hive? No. But if you're going with Hive, if you're going with Leo, if you're going with CTP, if you're going with stuff like we talked about, there's utility and there's people you see on chain developing, then you have a good chance. You go on Ethereum, who the hell knows who these people are that are developing? You could easily get in a rug pull. If you go get yourself with some Ethereum, that may not be a bad idea if you're optimistic about Ethereum or Matic or BNB or whatever you think is appealing out there. Those could be good things to get a hold of if you believe in those projects. I do believe everybody should have a little bit of Bitcoin. That's not a bad thing. So get yourself a little bit of Bitcoin probably wouldn't harm you, especially at these price levels.
I even got my Bitcoin shirt on today.
That's impressive.
Right? Not bad.
I'll be more impressive when you have an Ethereum shirt or an Ethereum hat on.
I want to get a picture of Vitalik tattooed on my arm.
Well,
and I'm going to call it gas fees.
Everybody has goals in life and dreams.
That's one of mine.
It's good to dream. So, I mean, it's, again, it goes back to, though, how much shit are you going to concentrate on? And, okay, you can buy Bitcoin and just let it ride and hodl it. But you start getting involved in other projects outside of Hive, how much do you know about them? How much time do you have to spend to research them and stay up on them? I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
At least on Hive, as I'm doing my Hive stuff, I can learn about, what's going on with these, because I'll see what's going on with CTP, because I'll see John's posts.
And there's just, to me, there's so much stuff on Hive. Like, Hive is just the technology. There's a million and one awesome projects on Hive, so it keeps you busy. So, but that's just, again, not financial advice. But I tried that. I tried to get spread out and get into this, get into that. Read the white paper on that. Read the white paper on that. It was just too much. It was like, again, use case development community. Do I see that in other projects? Sure, I'm sure they're out there. But I see it on Hive, and it's what I know. So to me, it's like if the price of Hive goes to $5, it goes to 50 cents. Don't matter.
Well, and here's another thing based on the question. One of the areas that you could go after tokens is in DeFi, but the question said, I don't understand that. So it's probably best to avoid that. But you could go with the Uni token and some of them. But if you don't understand it, then you're probably best avoiding it. So and there's not the social media stuff outside of Hive. That's the point. There's not really the gaming stuff outside of Hive because, like John said earlier, it just doesn't mesh well. So, I would stick, if you are going to go outside of Hive, my suggestion, because you can get information, is stick with the blockchains, your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, maybe your Cardano, something you like that. I don't know much about it. Your BNB. What's that?
The blue chips,
Yeah, the blue chips. Just avoid Tron. I would suggest that, but that's just a personal opinion. You could do otherwise.
And finally, we got Lisa. She's up. It's a Threads question. Is there a simpler way to follow Threads on Leo Finance? When I go to a thread and read it, and then I reply, I feel like I'm losing my place and not replying to the correct original post. Yes, they are. That is going to be an update, and that will be coming. You
now can follow. One of the updates is if you go to your Leo Finance, you go profile, it gives you your posts, and now there's a thread tab, and so you can go and see the threads that you did and answer it. The way to not lose your place, right click on the thread, open it up in a new tab if you're doing it on desktop, and that way you can answer the thread. And then see the other comments and do your thing in the thread. Then I hit the X and I go back and I'm still in my same place. But yeah, it's a little difficult because it does send you to the top of the page right now. But your own threads, which was a problem, but that was an update this week. You now can go to your profile and see all the threads you've done, and that makes it easier to keep track of your own stuff.
And all of this stuff is coming too. And Matt, my Path of Fire, sorry, dude, I didn't even see you mention that. But the HBD stuff, there's a diversification question from just before there. 20% sitting on your stable coin, your stable-ish coin.
With no third-party counter risk. I mean, you're sitting on the blockchain.
And did you see all of the big governments going after Tether and stuff now?
Well, the U.S. Congress wants to go after algorithmic stablecoins.
Good luck with Hive. good luck trying to find HBD. Serve that paper to someone. So there you go. Guys, great questions. Thank you for hanging out with us each and every week. I sent everyone an SBI who took part. Appreciate you. And we'll do that again next week. We got a show on Tuesday. I think it's just you and I, man. I think. Right?
Yes, I hadn't lined anybody up. You hadn't lined anybody up, and we've had an extra guest this month. So, you and I will plan a discussion for update of what's going on in the crypto world and that type of stuff. And next Friday
Lots of
we'll have
Ethereum
our
talk.
What's that?
Lots of Ethereum talk on Tuesday.
Yes, we will get John between now and Tuesday. John's homework assignment is going to be to research the merge, and he will give everybody an update on how different Ethereum is today in terms of transactions per second, scalability, and also what Vitalik did this weekend. So tune in Tuesday so you can learn all of that, because John's going to be on it this weekend. He's going to be researching it because he knows you want to know.
Yeah, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Ciao, everybody.